haven't done much prep, so we're going to wing this a little bit. I did do a quick run through on the plane back from Sydney last night after drinks, so don't hold it against me if everything doesn't go to plan. But the demo tonight, or the presentation tonight, is really more a demonstration presentation on Capybara. So when you're talking about test-driven development, people often talk about integration testing, acceptance testing. Cucumber is one of the technologies that gets mentioned quite a lot. I used to use Cucumber a lot, and what Cucumber does is allow you to basically specify scenarios in human readable language. So you can give it to a non-technical person, a client or a stakeholder, and then as a developer you can interpret those features and make them actually operate on your system. So it's a double-edged sword. It's defining tests and it's also giving your clients user stories. That's all well and good if you have a client that is willing to read them, and I found they almost never do. And writing step definitions for Cucumber is pretty much a total waste of time in my experience, as cool as Cucumber is. For those who aren't experienced with Cucumber, just ignore everything I'm saying and we'll go straight into Capybara. Capybara is a much simpler way to do it. Basically it allows you to simulate actions on your web application in the same way that a user would with their mouse and keyboard, and automate that. So from a test-driven development perspective, it's basically allowing you to define how your application will work first and then make it behave in that way. So I'll get straight into a demonstration. What I've done, I've literally just created a Rails app while Adam was talking called Capydemo. I've done a bundle and that's all I've done so far. So this is a brand new naked Rails app, no models in there or anything. So we're going to start from scratch. I'll jump into my gem file. I'm going to create a development group and I'm going to add a couple of gems. First one is Aspect Rail. It goes without saying if you're a coder, I think. We're going to add Capybara, oops, obviously, and we're going to add one more called Launchy, we're playing a little bit later. We're going to add another one in a minute, but I'll show you these first. I'll bundle that.
You could probably do the local assumption you've already installed these terms.
I have many times. Hopefully it won't take long. Aspects fairly. No, this is lazy. Too long, hopefully.
The only problem with Capybara is its name. When I was learning it, I called it Capybara.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've seen worse gem names. Nakagiri is pretty hard to remember. There was one. What?
Need the 4.
Oh, okay.
How hard could it be?
Nakagiri.
4.
That's
Okay,
four.
yeah.
For hacking up the
FAW.
except,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
What was the one? Think of it a minute.
Oniguruma?
It was like scat or something like that. Yeah, I don't okay, so next thing I'm going to do is generate my aspect. So I've got my bundle. So aspect. Sorry for those who have kind of been through all of these steps before, but I'm treating it like so newbies. So aspect install. Alright, so now I have a spec helper. I'll do spec helper, should be pretty much that's all good. The thing that's really super important to do is turn off transactional fixtures. I'll explain why that is in a moment. Now, next thing, no, I shouldn't have to. No, that's okay. Oh, look, we're going to work through this on the fly, so apologies if I miss anything. I'm going to put all my access in acceptance. So I'll create a directory and I'm going to copy over created earlier. Copy down to helper into spec acceptance. I'll just quickly show you that file. Really, really simple. All it does is include aspect helper, as you suggest, and it also includes any support files within the acceptance directory. So that's I'll show you examples of those later. So you can do basically your helpers that you would normally put in spec helper, you now put in support. Okay, I'm going to create a Rails scaffold, and let's call it coders. Coders, and we'll call it name, string, and comma, integer, and we'll give them an email address.
So you created that other support file so you can hive off that stuff separately rather than being all
Absolutely,
one.
yeah, because the helpers for your acceptance testing are going to have no use to your other aspects, and vice versa. Well, not so much vice versa, but certainly the first way.
Yeah.
So I'll jump into my Capy test, Capy demo. I'll just do that. I'm just using SQLite and Rails S. Alright, session, server running, and half an hour or so. I'm going to generate a test. So, acceptance, coders, create, spec, and it just so happens I've created one earlier. So, in this case, I basically just copy in the first few lines. Alright, so first thing I'll do is include my acceptance helper. So this is where you start getting the agile feature story style definitions again, like in Cucumber doing it in an aspect sort of DSL. So I'm going to say feature as a guest. I don't have an authentication. I want to create a coder. Just going to remove that now. Ignore that. Very first thing I'm going to do is visit pose path. So what I can define in Capybara are steps like I would do as a normal user. I'll close the spec and let's just see what that does. Probably forgot something. Alright, on spec, you run it exactly the same way as you would normally run a spec. And I just have to do a new rate for the test environment. If you did rake spec, it would do that for you. Okay, so that passed. Not that it actually did anything. What I can do, and this is something that's super hefty, is save and open page. It's easy to show you what that does. Click link, what was it called? New coder. And then I'm going to the fields. Actually, I'll just that is the old style hash rocket.
I thought it was password.
You can do password testing with this as well. Alright, and then I'll save an open page. So you notice I haven't done any assertions here. All that's is filled in data. Button. Create coder, and now I'm going to do some assertions. So, the page should have content, exactly what it's going to do, created coder, which won't be exactly right, but we can check that in a moment. So that spec should fail. which it did. So we expected there to be content created code. Obviously, I've got my phone in the right place.
What does it mean save in it? What's it saving?
It saves.
Shouldn't you really be easier?
Nice. Yeah, let's do it your way.
Yeah.
Only problem is being very precise. Get rid of the 7 open page, run that test, and we should have a passing test. Ooh, okay. Now I can do another assertion. Current page. Let's check the syntax. Current path, is it? Yep. Cool. Should equal, and you can use your Rails routes, coda path. Now, what idea am I going to use? Coda routes. So basically, we should be on the show page for the last one. That's all we've got.
Yep.
Let's do one example. I've not reversed this, so we'll see how it goes. Factory go. Go to factory.